and Waddle back onto that Phoenix. Like you said, you did see him on that Phoenix yesterday when he was playing, and he was able to frag out.
And it was on a sense specifically that he was getting multiple aces and entry kills and 4Ks one after another. And it was definitely on the attacking half that we saw this come to light a lot more. And since they are going to be starting on their, the attacking half, I'm going to assume that we're going to see a lot of A presence from the side of Yari Esports with just the abilities that they can have. But looking at the comp, that yes, one side of Bleak you do have such a default comp. You have that KO, you have Sova, Omen, Jet, and then Killjoy. There's nothing really, oh my gosh, what's happening here? But from the side of Bleak Esports, you have a deadlock being hovered.
Oh, that is very interesting. Oh no, come on, Jam. Don't tease us like that. Give the people what they want. I mean, I don't know if they want to see Deadlock.
I do.
She's
a new agent. She's a new agent.
It would be really nice to see how like some of these higher caliber teams actually play the agents, because obviously when you're in solo queue and in the ranked games, everyone's just going to be assuming they know how to play the agent. When realistically, let's be honest here, they're not going to really be doing too much of a good showing unless they really try to put the time and effort into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the solo queue teammates are never. I swear, any of my solo queue teammates never try. Just as a general,
that is probably the best way of summing it up in in the least amount of words. They just do not try, and everyone watching could probably agree with that statement.
Yeah. And well, Bleak are coming into this 1-0 up so far in the series. It is the best of 5, so first to 3 for any of those that do not know. This is their map pick. So Yari came through the upper bracket, so they get the 2 bans and the first pick. First pick was Haven. It went 13-4 in favour of Bleak. So when we're coming into this now, we're looking for Bleak to be even stronger than they were on that Haven.
100%. If Waddle has the same performance as he did yesterday here on Ascent, we are going to be looking at a really, really dominating match on the side of Bleak, and it's really going to put Yari in a really difficult situation of trying to claw back. But Yari Esports, they are on the defense. We did talk about that previous map where Bleak are on the weaker side when it comes to attacking. I mean, they don't feel as cohesive or as fluid together on the attack. I feel like there's a little bit of miscommunication when they're trying to execute their entries onto site. But on the defense, though, it is a completely different ball game. They look so much more put together, and I think that's really where Bleak are going to be coming out on top. But that being said, 12-4, like Bleak were looking really dominant, even on attack.
Yeah,
Haven.
Especially on Haven. Like, I think it was just Haven, and they're it was a bigger map, and it's one that is a lot of mid-rounding normally when you stereotypically talking about team play and stuff like this, but it's going to be starting out on Ascent. It's a smaller map, and well, there's less a map to cover, less map to take, especially on this attack. So we're going to be going straight up into the tree, and well,
Yanto just getting that first opening kill straight onto Jam, able to get the ultimate orb there, and now Bleak looking like they're slowly starting to get boxed in. As we can see, all 5 members of Yari just closing in as Lime in tree, making their way on top of box. Oh, Lewis gets a lovely one tap onto Sophie, but Walty is there for the trade. Bennett finding the kill onto Jamie, but Lime is inside the little box there. Gonna get taken out, and it's all up to Waddle. Manages to find one, 1v1, throws out the curveball. But thanks to that cloudburst, able to just disorientate him just for a quick second, allowing Ianto to reposition behind Generator, but it does not even matter because Waddle is just going to close it out for a nice, lovely 3k, and he is having another performance, and we could be seeing a lot more of that.
Yeah, I said about Waddle to be one to look out for, especially on this Phoenix on Ascent, and well, in the first round he's just done a lovely 1v3 to secure the pistol round, so that's lovely for the side of Bleak. Nice way to start off the map pick.
100%, and look, he's just gone straight for a Vandal and light armor. Does mean he has 0 credits in the bank, but going into the second round, the Vandal is such a heavy hitting weapon, and a player of that caliber is going to find a lot of value. Even though they are going to go up against 5 sheriffs, Yari Esports, they can still do work, but the firepower is going to be unmatched.
And when we're talking about the Phoenix as well, he's 2 ultimate orbs or points away from securing that run it back. So if you can get a kill and then also the orb towards B main or A main, that can be a full site exec all in one go.
100%, yeah. I mean, we did see in Haven Waddle getting their run it back in the 3rd round, so we could be seeing another repeat history rewriting itself. And now this is a very, very slow slow attack coming from Bleak. They're just really trying to feel out Yari to see what information they can get without giving too much of themselves away. But look,
but it's pulled the rotation.
Yeah.
It's pulled the rotation over this Omen into spawn, and yes, it's going to be the first kill going in favor of Daki, but Waddle gets one back for himself there, and the information of Daki's position is apparent.
Yeah. Trying to make the way in Twine, but Jamie is there with the paranoid just to shoot them into the back. Now, 4v3. As the spike is going to get planted, Bleak do have the man advantage. Bennett is hanging out on the lonesome up into heaven. Nearly getting caught out by that shot bolt, but not quite just yet. They're trying to take every precaution to make sure that Yari do not make their way on site. Bleak really positioning themselves nicely there. Got two by hell. Aldrone coming out, managing to tag Bennett there, and the spray from Waddle trying to find Bennett, but they find Walty in the process. Benny 9 HP, Sheriff in hand, and now Sophie finding themselves in tree as multiple members of Bleak try to peek, but down goes Waddle. There's not enough time on that spike. They're just gonna have to give it up. Sophie. Poor Bennett getting caught out by the turret with so little HP, and then Sophie just getting completely incinerated, and that's just going to be a nice 2-0 for Bleak once again.
But the Vandal isn't going to be able to be recovered, so that's a good thing in regards to the side of Yari. They're able to make it quite an expensive round, but the running back is available, so if they do decide to force up into this, which it wouldn't be too much of a risk necessarily, since they have that running back, you can recycle weapons without having to retrieve them. Like, it's a second life, right? So when we're talking about this, I want to see some sort of grouping up and really trying to overwhelm these site anchors, especially since you have this lesser weaponry.
Exactly, and now the Cloudball is coming out just to deny any information. Nianto really nice, quick thinking, but Lewis is quicker on the trigger, and that is a lovely opening kill. Now the runway back coming out from Waddle. Curveball coming out as he just makes his way straight through the Nanoswarm. He's got that second life, like you said. Sophie finding two, and then there's the trade from Waddle. Walty hanging out in the back of a Boathouse, but that kill feed is starting to light up red as Jamie finds himself a kill. Yari Esports finding themselves again at man disadvantage. Walty on such low HP. A gust is all they need, and Bennett finds a kill onto Jamie, and Walty getting completely caught out by that blind curveball. Waddle able to just close out the kill. 1v2 now. It's all up to Bennett. Vandal in hand, and now the spike is going to get planted. They are edging ever so closer towards that alarm bot.
But it is a time game. As soon as he steps even millimeters closer, that alarm bot is going to trigger, and all eyes are going to be on lane.
That it is, and now there is. I think they spotted it out already, so that's where they're going to send the dark cover, but thanks to that Vandal shot, it's just going to give them completely away. A little bit of a misplay from Bennett there, and Lime, as well as Waller, were able to just line their crossfires exactly where they wanted to, and they just close out the round 3-0 for Bleak, and it is looking bleak for Yari Esports.
You have to get it in, you have to get it in
Exactly.
as soon as possible. But when we're talking about this, they've gotten the first two rounds, you've secured the pistol, you've secured the buy round, but now you're going into the third. That's realistically the round you're expecting to see Yari have a little bit more of a fight back, in which they did. It did come down to that 1v2 situation, but even at that point, you have the lesser weaponry, you have, well, the advantage necessarily, and it's still so much in favour of Bleak.
100%. And Lewis and Ianto dashing towards each other, able to take him out. Daki find a trade onto Lewis. Jam finding Sophie now as the flash drive is being popped. Walty capitalizing onto that, onto Waddle. But unfortunately, Daki not able to find the shots. Shock darts are getting thrown out, but Jamie is not going to get tagged at all, and they just throw a nice, well-placed bullet straight into the forehead of Walty, and Bennett once again find themselves in a 1v3. Make that a 1v2 now, actually. Ignore what I've just been saying, because they are quicker on the trigger than when I can speak. Shrouding step over way to stairs, picking up that Phantom, really nicely played. The rotate from Bleak, missing their mark, being able to see Bennett there, and now as the spike gets diffused to half away, Lime is going to be holding the shorty.
Yep, holding a shorty, and especially since with that plant spell and the smoke put down by Ada himself, the shorty is going to be a favoured weapon in that situation. But when we're talking about these rounds, whether it's against a lower buy on either side, it really is coming together from the peaks in mid. We've seen Lewis take so many entry frags towards that mid area, towards the opposite jet on Yanto, or towards Daki playing in market. And off the back of that, they're able to let Waddle go through main, get the pick onto possibly Sophie playing the Killjoy towards main or towards B site. And that's really kind of like the openings that they're getting is off the back of the pressure they are able to put on, whether it's netting a kill or not, into mid.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about pressure. A lot of pressure on the Yanto there, but they're able to get out scot-free. Paranoia not able to find a huge amount of value. But look how fast Yari are rotating now. They've got a complete read of Bleak. I think the IGLs of Bleak there calling for the rotate over to A, and they're making their way through mid. That is exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to be taking true control. And now as the Blaze comes out, completely denying any form of visual information there for the side of Yari. Now at that, as Aldrin comes through, trying to throw out a Hail Mary
Bomb
tag.
is stuck out.
And a Hail Mary throw with that kunai straight into Sophie's face. As Lime gets the kill onto Bennett as well. Jamie whiffing there onto Yanto. Yanto able to get the kill onto Jamie, and even though Yari is starting to get these picks, they've only managed to find one so far, and so it's not looking good in terms of the numbers. Now as that spike timer starts to tick down, Yari Esports start to feel the pressure as they need to start making the way, and Yanto slow peeking straight into Jam's gun barrel. Not able to get out or find a kill. And now Yari, look, they're just going to have to be forced back. They know they can't win this fight. They're just going to have to give up any attempt of trying to defuse the spike and save the guns that they have.
Yeah, and saving the guns into the next round is going to be important to see if they can get these entry kills, which it has not been going in their favour.
No,
whether that's by certain updrafts and sheriff shots that were very nice shots indeed, but when you're talking about multiple round after round, you need to take something into your own hands from the side of Yari. Yes, we're seeing peaks down towards mid, which is great, but I want to see a little bit more of a set play, possibly down towards like A main or into B main.
Exactly that, yeah. I mean, Yari Esports, they need to start really picking themselves up because they have opportunities to convert and capitalize on the opportunities that some of the members have been presenting to them, but it's just been slipping through the fingers. Ianto popping that Blazestorm so aggressively, and Lewis is going to be dashing straight by him as Ianto with Paranoid, but Daki getting that trade onto Lewis. So that Blazestorm ultimate gone, not finding a huge amount of value there. Now as the members of Bleak just, take a nice little seat around this dark cover towards the entrance of Garage from defender side, they are just going to be slowly backing away, edging the way, silent as the night sky, trying to keep Yari on their toes about the decision that they are going to be making.
But when we're talking about both these teams, there's so much unknown area. So if you take into account all of A main up until top mid and all of mid, including up until market, since there was no peaks coming through, especially after that first kill onto Yanto in main. Yes, you're trading jets for a jet, but the amount of information that either team have is so little. So they can't even pull rotates over to stack a specific site. So you see the Omen now in spawn, and after that, there you go. That kill from Waddle is going to be the calling card for the rest of the team of Bleak to entry onto this site. But look at Jam's positioning towards mid, hopefully trying to get a late lurk or cut off any mid rotates.
Yes, and now as the spike gets planted thanks to Jamie, Jam making the way slowly further forward, and they might be convening into Sophie. Now as the trades come out from either side, Sophie able to get the kill onto Jam there as Jam was trying to lurk through. Good attempt, right idea, but Sophie was there to put a spanner right into the works. And now as both Sophie and Walty make the way slowly forward, Aldro coming out just to find as much information, and now they were able to tag Lewis there. Jamie finding one, Lime getting the kill onto Walty.
Yeah, there you go, and that's 6 on the board, so that is looking very good for the side of Bleak, and now the ultimate economy is rolling around yet again for Waddle, since we saw him use his ultimate, 2 rounds ago? And again, it's 1 ult orb off, so if they're able to take into any main space, which realistically they have been, it's not being contested very heavily. We saw the fight between Yanto and Lewis. Yes, that was great, it was traded out 1 for 1, so it's a 4 versus 4, but that is still going to be favouring your attackers, since, well, defenders, the size of the map has not changed, right? You still have to defend the entirety of map, you have 1 less person to do it. So yes, it's not a man advantage per se, but it is an advantage in regards to the manpower.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of manpower,
Traded herself. She traded herself,
exactly,
right?
traded herself, and now she just got cooked to be a nice, lovely meal, serving themselves up to Waddle. Waddle not able to get the ultimate orb. That is exactly the play that they were trying to go for, trying to just get Waddle's ultimate orb in order to pop the run it back. And oh my goodness, Walty. Misplay from Walty there. Had the opportunity. They saw that Jam popped the Aldrin and they wanted to go for the quick kill, but unfortunately the shots were not connecting. And now as the operator shot from Lewis just comes out, and oh, Operation Flying Squirrel gets completely shut down by Daki there, but Jam is there for the trade. And now Bennett once again finds themselves in a 1v3 as that spike gets planted. We do see that Jamie is making the way up on top of the box thanks to that shrouded step, and then Bennett slowly edging the way through mid-market to pick up the gun, and they could potentially look to try and go for this 1v3, or they might opt to save.
They might go for some exits here, since realistically they came into this on a save round, so they had only Sheriff. So being able to upgrade this weapon is great for him in regards to saving money next, possibly even being able to buy an operator for his teammates. But when we're talking about in regards to side of Bleak, they're not going to be looking for these kills in regards for to get more economy in regards for their side, or to get ultimate orbs, since it's only Az's going to be able to benefit from this.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, yeah, they are going to be opting to save and play for those exits. Oh, Bennett just a bit too overzealous with that right there. I like the confidence, but they weren't able to back it up. They were better off just hiding around in the little cubby and just being, you know, just silent like a mouse, just keeping themselves in a nice little corner to just spare themselves. But the opportunity to give themselves a gun has just slipped through their fingers, and now they are forced to spend a bit of money in order to just put themselves on an even playing field right now with Bleak.
Yeah, on an even playing field is something that I don't really want to say in regards to this matchup, since, well, yes, you might be in an even playing field in regards to the general amount that you've invested in this buy round and regards to the ultimate, but from the side you're looking at a 7-0. The mentality of these players are going to have to be put under test.
Oh my goodness, Deontay, what a lovely swing, catching both Lewis and Jamie completely off guard. Wasn't anticipating Waddle to be over there by the little hut there, but they were able to secure themselves two nice opening kills. That's going to do a lot of wonders for Yari. Daki able to find information thanks to that 0 point onto Waddle there, but even though they've got information, the rest of the Bleak members making their way through over to Tree, but they have been spotted. Lime finding a lovely kill onto Sophie, managing to use their dancing fancy feet to jump over the doorway. Caught out by the Hunter's Fury. Waddle popping that run it back, aggressively pushing on, but as that timer ticks, not too much information gets found out, but thanks to the shots from Walty onto line, they know where he is, and Walty finds two lovely kills, but gets caught out completely by that curveball, completely blindsided and flashed, and not able to get out scot-free. Daki, lovely kill onto Logs there.
There you go, the first round on the board for Yari Esports off the back of getting that multi-kill of Yanto in main. Yes, it was traded back out for 2-for-1, but again, it's great to get those the man advantage early on, and they were able to play off the trade game then further on into that. So props to Yanto and Walty again for those multi-kills in that round, which basically secured it, and then Daki, well, clearing up after the rest of his teammates.
Yes, exactly that, yeah. The paranoia onto Waddle there, trying to disorientate him as best they can, really allowed Yari to just close up, because even though it's a 1v2, Waddle is a very scary player to go up against, so they need as much as they can to make sure that they get every advantage. And now as that hot hand comes out, Waddle able to get into that little cubby there, but Sophie's just going to be backing up. Bennett taking cover in that dark cover, but unfortunately smoke is not going to be stopping bullets getting through, and Bennett just got completely riddled with them. Now, as the lockdown is coming out from Lime there, forcing Sophie and Walty to just stay up there in heaven. Waddle just making the way onto site scot-free thanks to that blaze. Jam taking Sophie out in the corner there. Walty having to just throw out the Aldrone, but it's going to put them in a very dicey situation. Jamie, not much health left in the bank, but thanks to Daki, able to take him out. Yari, again, finding themselves at this disadvantage with the numbers. Information coming out, flash drive, popping down. Jam has been doing so well, finding these nice little picks up there in heaven, and it's all up to Walty.
The information of Lion's positioning is not aware, so he's worried about Tree, but the shot does going to come in. No information on Lime's positioning, so he's worried about this heaven flank, but Lime is very happy sat on site. It's going to be an interesting situation on how he decides to clear this. The step down is going to be here, the tree door open, so he is going to have to clear hell. And it's Lime walking into the crosshair is Walty of Lime's Vandal. So that is another round, an 8 on the board for Bleak versus the 1 for Yari.
Yeah.
But the rounds are getting closer, right? The rounds are getting closer. So there's a little bit more life coming into the game, coming into the matchup from the side of Yari, especially on this map.
100%.
And it's a positive thing to see.
Yeah, I think Yari are slowly starting to find their stride, albeit the scoreboard doesn't exactly say anything like that. But as the game starts progressing, we're starting to see Yari become a bit more of a cohesive team. They're starting to really start to play off of each other a lot better than we were seeing them on Haven. But again, Bleak are the ones able to close out the rounds. They're able to capitalize on the opportunities that they are making. And talking about opportunities, Lewis found himself a good opportunity to get 2. Not quite able to get the 3rd as Sheriff from Bennett is able to just stop them right in their tracks. From the shadows, coming out from Jamie, trying to get a little bit of information, but just cancelled it straight away. So going to be opting to go for that A side push.
Yeah, the information of Omen's positioning over towards the B side is knowing since the sound coming out. But Walty, lovely shot onto Waddle there, making sure he has nothing else to say for the rest of this round. The door is open, so they can take a peek out of this if they so wish.
Yeah, double shock dart coming out just to anticipate anyone getting onto the lever there to try and close the door, but the spike has been planted and the lockdown from Sophie is coming out, so time is ticking. Hunter's Fury from Jam, yep, they're going to be taking that one out. 3 seconds, yep, there it is. I was very, very cautious there about that 3rd Hunter's Fury shot having to come out, but the spike timer ticking. Bleak, very, very confident in their positions. Jamie finding 1 kill onto Sophie. Walty gets fallen. Lime closing out the kill onto Bennett there. 9-1 in this first half. And Bleak, they're just repeating history from the first map.
Yeah, what was it, a 10-2 half?
Yeah, 10-2 half.
10-2 half. Well, they're going to try and make it an 11-1, I believe they're going for that. Not going to give up any rounds where they don't have to. But when we're talking about the side of Bleak, you're not having any sort of star performances from anyone in particular. You see multi-kills coming across the entire board for all of these players. But just for Lime, his survivability, he's 10-3. He's surviving majority of rounds they win, whether that's through clutches or just being that constant anchor in regards to playing the post plans or playing the safer positions far back, and the tradability of his ability is great. But is Waddle going to be using that running back and while shutting down Sophie already? Jamie's and Lewis are already at mid. As on that flank though, quick flank through mid.
Yeah, now as the door comes out, Bennett trying to catch Jam on the flank there through mid, like you said, but Jam quicker there on getting the shots to connect. Yeah, and so with that Bladestorm, manages to see the head of Hair and Waddle and is able to throw a kunai right into their skull. But Lime is able to get the kill onto Daki there. Oh, a few kunai got thrown up, but Jam able to just quickly close out the rounds with 2 lovely headshots to secure themselves 3 kills.
And well, they've already secured at least what they got on the game previous. They're going to be going for a little bit of a 11-1 half. They have a good buy compared to that of Yari. It is looking very... They're going to the depth of their pocket for this. They have Guardians coming out. You only have 1 player who actually has a full buy, especially since the Bladestorm was invested the round previous. It can't be used now and then drop a weapon for a friend. It's going to be Sophie on a Bulldog and then 3 Guardians for the rest of the players.
Yeah, I know. And Daki, they do have the null command, so they do have the ability to shut down a lot of utility from the side of Bleak, but it's not going to matter too much if they end up falling early on. But Jam just jiggle peeking, trying to get some information. Royalty throwing out a few Guardian shots there just to try and close out. But Sophie gets a lovely opening pick onto Waddle there. That is absolutely huge. But Lewis could have capitalized on that so quickly. Just going to be following up and finding themselves a 2nd kill. Yanto there for the trade. Jam taking out Daki, so that null command completely nullified.
Is he really Lime's on site?
Oh my goodness, Lime, what an absolute sneaky ninja they are. Lime's positioning throughout this entire game has been absolutely stellar. They've been able to get away unnoticed so many times, and they've been really a thorn in Yari Esports' backside on this defense, and they have been able to do bits.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the survivability, he is the one that has the positionings and the timings to be able to capitalize off rotates or miss rotates from the side of Yari, but it does not matter. Jamie's going to be the one that closing out that round, and it's 11-1 half. And a beautiful smoke to close it out.
I know, lovely, lovely smoke. Not much value, but it looks nice. So yeah, so Bleak, they're putting themselves in an even better position as they did in the first game. 2 more rounds and they have completely closed out, and we know what Bleak are capable of in these first 2 rounds, especially that pistol. I mean, in yesterday's series where we had Yari sending Bleak into the lower bracket, when we went to all 3 maps, out of the 6 pistol rounds, Yari only won 1, and that was in the 3rd final map of the second half of that map. So pistol rounds,
the last pistol they could have picked up possibly in that best of 3, since he did go to 3 maps, like you said.
So yeah,
so
Yari
it's looking
Esports,
confident, right?
Yeah.
We believe in the Yari comeback. It could be done, but it always starts with winning a pistol. So if they can secure this round here, then we have something possibly to say in the next couple of rounds when they secure the pistol, and if they can secure the force buy into it.
Oh, Waddle finding the opening on the Walty is able to get Lewis. Lewis, very aggressive, like the idea, like the aggression, but they weren't able to execute it properly and they're not able to hit their shots. Lime, Waddle finding 1, and then Lime finding 2 for themselves. All up to Walty as they have been caught by the paranoia, not going to be able to see further than their own 2 feet, and then Jam is just going to take out Walty to close it out, and then Bleak put themselves onto match point.
Yeah, Jamie trying to go for a little bit of a run and gun, not working out for him there in that situation. But it is his teammates, they're ready to trade him out, and while the trades and while the teamwork of Bleak have been sublime.
It has indeed. I know we were saying that Bleak, you know, weren't too cohesive. I know I was saying that a little bit, but as the game starts...
Are you using a royal we
No,
here?
sorry, I do correct myself. I did say that Bleak, you know, as they're earlier on, not looking too cohesive, but as the games have gone on longer, and I know you said this, as the game progresses further on, Bleak are just going to become more and more dominant, and it is just a full showing right there. Lewis with the Guardian. Fortunately, the shots are just going to be missing, painting a pretty picture around the head. But on, oh my goodness, the share shots coming out from Yari Esports, and this is looking really, really good for them.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 1 tap after 1 tap, but it's Jam's turn now on that ghost. He was only able to pick up 1 for himself, and while the full spire of Yari Esports coming into this, well, it's going to be expected. You have to buy as much as you can on match point, and it's going to be something that's going to be repeated and repeated and repeated until either overtime or Bleak finally close it out.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be here for a very, very long time in order to get to overtime. Yari, they've got 10 more rounds to win. An absolutely crazy big mountain that they need to climb in order to get up there. And it's, I mean, they have an opportunity. Looking at the guns that they have, Bleak, they've got 3 sheriffs and 2 classics, whereas members of Yari, they've got themselves a couple of vandals in the pocket. Lewis able to dodge that paranoia, and oh, what a lovely shot straight on Tiante, but Walty is there for the swift trade. The fragment coming out, zoning Jamie away from the door entry there. Now Walty sending out the Elder and trying to find a bit of information, but they managed to find Lime, and Daki is there quickly on site to pick up that quick kill. Now as the door starts coming down, Lime is throwing out the classic shots, but unfortunately not going to be able to find anything as Sophie riddles them with bullets. Jam throwing out the shock bolts to find any form of value and take any health off any members of Yari, but not much is going to be done as the shots are getting shot into the door, but that door is becoming more impenetrable than I feel like it should have been. But Daki finding a lovely headshot onto Jam, and it's all up to Waddle. 1v4, 13 bullets altogether they have, and they use 3 to find 1, but Sophie is there for the quick trade off that swing.
Yeah, and we're going to see a few rifles picked up, so we do still have that the 2 Vandals and that Spectre, and possibly even going to get upgraded since they do have some funds in the bank, but realistically on your smokes you can play that as a Spectre and you can recycle any weapons of your entry players, or possibly even just pick up off the dead body of one of the players that your teammates are going to kill. But it is going to be a round that Bleak are going to be in a full buy here. It's 12-3, a very dominant half turned into a not so quite dominant start to the second half. They lost the conversion round.
Yeah, and now even though that Bleak have the full buy, they do put themselves in a much better position to close out this map. But with how Yari have been playing this attack, they've been doing really well. But I say that, but Jam is able to find 1, Bianto finding the trade. Oh my goodness, they completely missed out Lime, and Lime is going to be able to find the kill. And Sophie find the kill onto Lewis. Bianto is there. staring Lime in the face, and oh my goodness, they managed to connect the shot so lovely. The tailwind out of there, the dash not quite able to get them out of that precarious situation as Waddle and Jamie find the kills, and now it's a 1v1 situation. Is Walty versus Waddle. Who is going to be finding the W? One of them needs to live up to their name, the running
They haven't
back.
got the bomb.
Oh my goodness. Waddle in such a good situation. They close out what could have been the start of Yari Esports' comeback. Bleak put that straight into the ground, and now is a 2-0, and now Bleak put themselves onto series point.
Yeah, series point and tournament point is a best of 5, so it is first to 3 maps, and they've already secured the first 2, so there's 1 map remaining, and I believe it's going to be Pearl is the map that we're going to be seeing. I will double check that, but it's another good map for the side of Focus. But we've seen a really good map. We've seen very dominant first map and even more dominant second. It was a 13-3 and compared to the 13-4. Yes, it's only 1 round difference. Like I said, it's not that much.
I mean, you called it.
I did call it a 13-3, but we're going into this. I'm not going to call any scoreline, but we're going to be going to a short 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with the possible final map of this series.
Yeah, final map at the very least, but Yari Esports, they got 5 minutes to, have themselves a team talk and see what happens.